We've got the Krampus, Invisible Demon Children, and the Three Kings. If that doesn't say Christmas, I don't know what does. Hello guys, welcome back to Gingerdale, and although we're not talking about Riverdale, we are going to be talking about the Midwinter's Tale for Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Bro, welcome back.
Thank you. It's been a while since I've been on the show. I think I've only ever been on one episode of Gingerdale, but yes, it was the season 3 premiere episode with Daniel and myself, and I stepped away because I was like, I don't think this audience wants to hear me talking about Archie's abs. I think you're better suited for that.
I'll talk about him, that's fine.
But you know what? I'll jump in every now and then because I do love the fandom. I love Gingerdale, and I really, really, really love Sabrina, so I'm excited to do some Sabrina chat and say hi to everyone. It's been a while since I've been on a YouTube show for THS. So.
Same.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot of theories that we're going to discuss in this episode. I said Gingerdale. Sabrina's holiday episode, the Solstice episode, left a lot of questions for me personally, and I want you guys to chime in. Let's give everybody a chance to log on, get into the chat. Remember, super chats are the best way to get your voice heard here. And if you want to chime in or read any of the articles we reference, because we're going to reference a few things coming up, go to thathashtagshow.com. What's going on, Kelly? I'll throw it back to you right now. Not much.
I mean, I love the episode. I'm glad that they kind of are... Netflix is starting to do this intermission episode.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
Well, it's interesting because I think they kind of threw this episode together. They knew that Sabrina was a hit, and they were going to make season 2. So they actually rushed... I thought it's
also being renewed for season 3 as well.
Yes. So they jumped right into filming for season 2, and, you know, they have a really fast turnaround. Yeah. It's a fast turnaround because we want it. That
is that why?
I think so.
I want more Game of Thrones, but that's taken.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different story. You know, I wish they could turn around these episodes a lot faster for Game of Thrones, but I'll take Sabrina in the meantime.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy television month in April. I think that's when Game of Thrones actually does return.
It does return in April.
Okay, so we've got Sabrina coming back. We're on hiatus from Riverdale right now.
We are. For like a couple weeks, right?
Right. Yeah. But these two fandoms go together. I'm expecting to see a lot more crossover in the future.
Do you think that characters from Riverdale will appear on Sabrina or vice versa?
Really, really hope so.
I'm so doubtful.
Really?
I want it to happen, but I'm so doubtful because the two shows are so different. And I think that, I don't know if you're caught up with Riverdale, but...
No, I'm not. I'm 2 episodes behind. I haven't seen the last few episodes.
Okay, that's fine. 2 episodes fine. But you know how they're kind of alluding to the fact that there might be magic?
Right.
I don't think it's going to connect to actual magic.
Now, they always set it up like there's going to be magic and some supernatural stuff happening on Riverdale, and then they kind of come away from it and they explain it. You still don't think, because they do reference Riverdale on Sabrina. They
mention the city by name. They don't mention like the high school or the characters themselves.
We've had the Pizza Boy crossed over.
They did.
So we know we're in the same timeline.
He did. Well, he did. Spoiler alert, die in the other one, and then appeared alive in this one.
But that tells me that it's happening at the same time, ish, right?
But I feel like, remember when Harvey was saying, like, oh, I'm going to go to the morgue over in Riverdale? Mm-hmm. I feel like, if he mentioned, like, someone, like, the creepy morgue dude.
I feel like Cheryl works in Sabrina. I feel like Cheryl could cross over.
I hope so. Badass.
She's badass, looking for trouble, and if she can find trouble, Sabrina's crew is somewhat motley. She kind of, I see at least one. If at the end of season 2 we get another holiday special, that would be when you do it.
I hope so.
Yeah, that would be my guess. That would be my hope.
I root for it. I'm skeptical about it.
All right. So, what did everybody think of the holiday special? Did you watch the holiday special, or winter solstice special. What did you think?
I loved it. I want to be honest. I loved it, but I felt like they crammed in a lot of stories, little short stories. So it felt like it was like a 3-part system.
Yeah.
Whereas these short stories that didn't get a lot of information.
Right.
And they were cool stories. I mean, I love the Krampus, like, evil Christmas, like, movies that come out. And I like the idea of Grilla. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced. I love the idea of Grilla and, like, abducting kids, and I believe she eats them, right?
Right.
Because Sabrina made that little comment, like, what is it with witches and cannibalism?
Yeah.
Like, what is it? Like,
Well,
what?
Grilla actually protects kids. I think there was a reference to cannibalism, but I can't remember exactly where that came in. Producers, do we remember? All right, we'll get some info on that.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see more of that story. And so I felt like if it was happening during an actual season, although I appreciate getting a special intermission episode, I do wish we got to see more of these stories.
Now, this is something that just occurred to me, and I do want to let everybody who is watching this know right now that there are spoilers. We're going to get into spoilers. If you haven't seen the full season of Sabrina, if you haven't seen the holiday special, be warned. We're going to talk about all of this. We're going to bring this in. I felt like... And this just occurred to me as you were talking, that there was like this theme of 3. We had 3 stories going on. We had 3 kings. We had, there was this cycle of 3 in here. And I felt like it almost was intended to be like a holiday ghost of, they even made reference to Christmas Carol, like past, present, and future, like references to the past, present, and future. I'm trying to figure out how that would match up. But there were some very obvious... It was very obvious to me that they wrote this originally as 3 stories, and then they put them together.
And they kind of, like, cut them short and mashed them together. Which
Right.
is why I was like, I wish we had more.
It felt like chapters almost.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get into the first thing here. Before we get into any of the drama, we learn about Sabrina's desire to talk to her mother, right? Is that really the first thing that we jump into?
I believe so. I mean, other than introducing, like, the Yuletide, whatever they call it, Yuletide Day. Sabrina, but that's what tied it in to the first season. Because she saw her mom in limbo. What did they call it? Was it limbo? Limbo's
Yes.
fine. Okay.
So, spoiler, yes. She brings up the fact, because I don't think she told a whole lot of people afterwards in that episode. I think it was that the finale of the season? It was
an episode or 2.
It was one of the last 2 episodes. So... she confesses that to several people that she saw her mom in limbo, and then this obviously they're setting something up. And early to start we start with a flashback, and I just want to mention I didn't know this until you told me.
No, I think I was wrong.
Okay, the casting at the beginning, they're sitting. We're going back maybe 10, 15 years, and they go sit on Santa's lap. Young Sabrina looks just like her.
So I thought that she was her sister, and I actually thought that when I was watching The Haunting of Hill House, and I was like, man, that girl looks just like Karen and Chipka, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's her sister, and then I looked it up, and I was like, dang it, they're not related. They were not related, but I was almost certain, and they looked so similar.
Whoever that little girl is, granted, it was one scene, one line, she nailed her.
She did.
Like, beautifully.
Well, have you seen The Haunting of Hill House?
Yes, I have. Yes.
She's just as moody in that show, too.
Yes. Did you like that, by the way?
I loved it.
I know you
didn't like it. I loved it.
I wasn't ready for a psychological thriller. I wanted something scary.
Yeah, it was less scary, more psychological, like you said.
Yeah.
But it was still like I have friends who can't watch scary shows, and they were like scared.
Okay, getting back to this opening scene. Now, I was fucking confused. Like, who's she taking a picture with here? Who's this little boy that it was Susie. Okay,
Susie.
Makes a whole lot of sense. I think they casted a boy for that role.
It's possible. I mean, they really are trying to make Susie's gender ambiguous. And I think
it's hard. She's a pretty girl.
I think the actor that plays Susie also has an ambiguous. I don't know what it's called, but they are a they/them person. And so I think they wanted to emphasize that. Especially since Susie gets teased.
She's a Zer?
Zer, is that what it is? I don't know.
I don't know. That first episode was heart-wrenching when she was crying and she's like, they lifted up my shirt. I was like, I really felt for her. That she's a fucking terrific actress, whatever she is.
It's great because that's definitely something that we're dealing with in today's times, and it's making it relatable.
I want to say hi to Liron Underwood. Is that one of your usual chatters in here?
I don't know.
He's saying
Usually
hi. He says it was great. Toku Kid, our boy, back in there, and Ryan Earl Thomas. Hey, he says, hey, Kelly and Ro. What's up? Nice to always chat with you guys. I just want to remind everybody of the super chat feature that keeps these shows on the air. It keeps my drinking glass full, and it's a marker. It's one of the measures of the shows that we decide to build on, and so anytime you guys want to contribute and really be heard on the show, you know what to do. And there's going to be a special thing coming up later. Are we doing patches? Are we talking about patches?
Yeah, we got these patches.
So let's talk about
Club
these.
Gingerdale. By the way, Leron corrected me. It is non-binary. I forgot the term for that.
Thank you, non-binary.
So yeah, we've got our Club Gingerdale #patches. If you want to be an official member, you gotta participate in the chat. You gotta super chat. You gotta give us some theories. I made them.
Yay!
They're handmade by me. So if you receive one and you're like, what the heck? When you get it, I'm sorry. But they're free, so you can't complain. They're also sew on. They're not, don't try to iron these on. You have to sew it on to your
So super chat, get yours today. I don't care if you super chat 99 cents or you super chat $150. I'd prefer the $150. Well, I got a message from, was there a minimum for these? We're going with $2 minimum super chat?
Well,
all right. Well, we'll work it out.
Yeah.
Any contribution is much appreciated. Let's get into this episode. So we set up the episode with a flashback of young Susie.
So, Producer Dan, someone once told me that if you don't pay $2, they don't show your text.
Oh.
But they could just not have known how to super chat also.
Okay. So we just learned we're going to go with the safety. We're going to set in a safety rule. $2 super chat is a guaranteed show up on the message board here. So take that into consideration as you type in that number. Okay. Susie and Sabrina sit on Santa's lap. Susie wants a truck like her dad. We see Susie's dad sitting next to, who was it, Hilda or Zelda?
It was Hilda.
It was Hilda. One of my favorite things about the show.
Zelda wouldn't take her to see Santa.
And Hilda slips again. She's like, "Oh, pray to Satan." And she's like, "Well, I'll pray to Satan." And she cuts herself off. I just love when she says, "Pray to Satan." Oh, pray to Satan to me. But that's just the disturbing part of me speaking out. Anyways, so we established this friendship that goes way back, way back. What's her third friend with the cunning? What's her name?
What is it? Alice? Roz?
Roz. So
right.
we didn't see Roz in that picture, but I'm assuming that like all three of them. I mean, they're Greendale legacy basically. We know that all of their parents have been part of Greendale for
everyone
a
knows
long,
everyone
long
in that
time.
Town.
So anyways, she puts that ornament on her. It's not a Christmas tree. It's the Yule
tree.
Yule tree. They're Satanist, or they worship the Dark Lord, so they're not celebrating Christmas. They're celebrating the solstice. Anyways, this sets up. I don't know if it actually sets up anything, but it plants the idea that Susie misses her mom.
Yeah.
I said Susie.
You
Sabrina.
mean Sabrina? Yeah, because she's like,
her mom.
I just want to see my mom again.
Cut to Weird Sisters seance. Let's just jump to that part.
Okay, all right. Yeah, because her friends. So we're still in that like weird transition mode where Sabrina's friends don't really. They're still getting over the fact that she's a witch.
Right.
So they don't want to help her. So she has to get the Weird Sisters help, and they're like, "Yes, sign me up."
Right.
They are all down for that.
Yeah, they're always down for mischief, right?
And she also has to get the help from Madame Satan, and
she gets the book from Madame Satan.
I was a little confused because what is it about this seance that helps Madame Satan? How does it get her? Because she does.
So here's actually there was I skipped over something. Is Madame Satan? We catch her praying earlier. She doesn't know what her duty is on Earth right now.
She's like, I was supposed to join you as your queen, I believe it was, and I've done what you've asked. Sabrina is here, and I'm still here. Like, what's up?
And she's got a boner for the Dark Lord.
She does, and she's starting to get keen on the fact that the Dark Lord wants.
Is she a little needy? Is she kind of a little?
Well, literally everyone wants to be the queen next to Satan. Even the Weird Sisters when they did that weird sacrifice.
Yeah. Wow, that was rookie. We got a rookie move going on from the producers in the room. We're trying to talk about Satan and worship here, and I get a nice little Christmas bell in the background. Yeah. All right. So, Madame Satan is caught. She's caught red-handed praying, and she gives Sabrina the book.
She did.
But
She's
previous
like,
to
"Oh, you wanna do
this,
mischief?"
she doesn't know what she's going to do. So she is actively
Trying to sabotage Sabrina again.
trying to sabotage, figuring out how what the Dark Lord's role is. So she's going to be I'm going to assume she's going to be very proactive. And I'm bringing this up now because later I have a theory of the whole seance thing.
Okay,
so she helps her do the seance
you
once
have
again.
A theory about why she's helping out Sabrina.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's more. Look, Sabrina signed the book, right?
Yeah, she's now has to do the Satan's bidding.
But something about Sabrina is definitely different.
I didn't get to see much of that difference in this episode. I felt like she still felt like the same usual Sabrina, just
She is
more powerful.
But Satan sees something different in her. The Dark Lord definitely is maybe threatened by her or has to keep an eye on her.
I think he was always threatened by her, and that's why he was so keen on getting her to sign her name in the book so that he has control of her. I think that there's something to do with the fact that her mother's immoral and her father's a warlock and her father was so powerful that they knew, or maybe there's some prophecy that she's like some powerful child, but from the beginning, we saw how important it was for him to be in control of Sabrina. So I do think that he was always threatened.
Yes.
I don't think it's necessarily after she signed her name in the book.
Now, Sabrina is, as far as we know, the only half-mortal witch.
That we know of, because it was so looked down upon.
So let's look back to the last episode of when she destroyed the 13.
Her father had to ask permission to marry her mother.
And her mother... Man, there's a lot going. There's really a lot going on, and I kind of feel like they skipped over a few details, maybe on purpose, maybe a shortage of time.
You mean between this winter episode and?
Well, just like the details, they didn't give us.
I feel like they didn't want to do much of the plot that's over the course of season 1 to season 2. I think they just kind of wanted to focus on little mini stories.
Okay, so I'm gonna get right into it then.
Yeah.
Did Sabrina? And we'll get into the other things that happened after the actual seance. Did she, in your opinion, summon her mother? With the help of Dorcas.
It was so weird, though, because Dorcas was the one... Was it Dorcas? No, it was...
It was Dorcas who was conducting the seance.
No. It was not Dorcas. It was the one that's the middle one that's not... with the dark black hair.
Okay.
She was conducting the seance. What up, Super Chat?
Woo!
Thank you so much, Toku Kid.
And let's get to Toku Kid's question real quick. Do y'all think, and I like that you put the little apostrophe y'all, think Harvey will die like in the comics? Now,
I don't. I think that he's eye candy and they kind of want.
I think he's eye candy, and
like Riverdale.
He is going to be there for at least 3 to 4 seasons.
And that's how much they've been renewed for.
So
Agatha, thank you so much.
Yeah, there you go. So, and we're going to get into some of these Harvey theories as well. But going back to the mother.
I think it's weird because Agatha was the one conducting the seance. So it wasn't necessarily Sabrina's power, but they were like,
because everybody knows how.
Hands.
She said, ask her a question that only my mother would know. And she asked the question, how did you die? Everybody at this point, I think, kind of knows.
Yeah, but she said the number. How many people know the number of their flight plane?
It's true.
I don't even know what the number of the flight on the planes that I do take these days are. Do you ever look at your flight numbers?
No, I have no idea.
I'm like, this one's to Houston, awesome. That one's my plane.
Right.
Like, so that's why I do feel like it's quite unique.
Okay, but Lady Satan, Madam Satan, was doing something she was able to put the Yule log out, because we also learned that on the solstice. On the summer solstice, or the winter solstice, demons, and we know that she's a demon, are at their most powerful.
Wait, you think Sabrina's a demon?
No, Madam Satan.
Oh,
she
okay.
put the Yule log out remotely. Quote
so
unquote.
You're saying that Madam Satan became... what's her name? The mom's name. This is the D, right?
Diana.
Diana, thank you. So you're saying that Madam Satan became Diana?
Yes. Because Diana made some weird choices in this episode.
Let's explain.
Like with tricking, I'm gonna look up her name, Grilla, the other witch.
Now, the reason why I thought that felt smooth was because she explained like, oh, I am in the, I forget who she said, but like basically I am taking the place of these two spiritual women and I speak for them. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember who she took the place of, but she said like, oh, I will be speaking for them. And so I felt like that trick came more from those women when she had like the crown on.
Okay. But
from herself.
either way, Madam Satan wanted to cause chaos during this time for
She did.
Sabrina.
Yeah, she hates Sabrina. She's jealous.
She's definitely jealous.
Yeah.
Because
Hardcore.
maybe she thinks that Sabrina will be the bride of Satan.
I think she's starting to see that pretty clearly.
Yeah. Madam Satan's got a chip on her shoulder, but at the same time, she is doing the Dark Lord's bidding. Now, when she puts out the Yule log, that opens the house for
all the spirits and demons
to come in freely.
Yes.
It's only for a moment. But Grilla and the Yule kids come in. Okay. This is where it kind of gets like weird. Like I don't really understand too much. I mean, they set up some chaos and some fun stuff, and then it gave Zelda a reason to question baby Letitia's, which by the way we found out the baby's name. They named the baby Letitia. Letitia Spellman, I'm guessing, is going to be the baby's name.
Maybe.
I don't know. It sets up.
Who's Ambrose related to? If he's her cousin, does that mean they have another sibling? Is that too random? I think it's super weird that they're like, oh, Ambrose is your cousin, but you've got Sabrina's father, Hilda, and Zelda. And I'm thinking like, well, they're not married, so they didn't have this Ambrose. So where did Ambrose?
I get the impression that Ambrose is on the father's side, right? Because he's a warlock. He's a witch.
Is he a Spellman or is he not a Spellman?
So he's a Spellman. So a Spellman somewhere down the line.
So they have to have some random uncle or aunt.
There must be at least one more aunt or uncle somewhere.
Okay, unless it's like a distant cousin. But I always wondered about that. I was like, you can't just say someone's a cousin and then not have like their relative.
Address it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, getting back on track. Yeah. So Ambrose clears the house and he doesn't find the Yule kids, but they're in there. Now the Yule kids come in and cause havoc, and what this does is create a scenario that eventually will lead to the fact that the baby, Letitia Spellman, or Letitia whatever, is going to be under threat living in this house.
Yeah. Right?
And let's talk about the Yule kids real quick. I thought they were kind of fun. They set up a little bit of mischief.
Poltergeists. They were little poltergeists.
That scene with the knives coming down, I don't think they were too malevolent. Like they weren't going to hurt anybody, but
pranks. Like when they were moving a rolling pin around, and then they're like they knocked the flower off.
So I want to know about Grilla though, their mother. Is she dead, or did she come in? We know she's like some type of malevolent spirit.
I thought she was a witch.
She was a witch or a dead witch, or what is she?
Daniel, producer, back in here. So
we're getting some information.
So during her and another witch during a time of famine made a pledge to eat their children to survive. However, they ate her baby. Other witch backed out, and so now she's damned to basically wander the universe wanting a kid.
I remember now. So they ate her baby. That's the cannibalism quote.
Yeah.
It was her only child at the time. So now she collects the orphans, right?
Yeah.
So I guess technically Letitia is
unclaimed, and so she's like, I have rights to that baby.
She has rights to that baby. And apparently apprentice witch Sabrina and her mother, which plays into my theory a little bit later. In a few minutes we'll get to come up with a way to trick Grilla and get her out of the house with a teddy bear, which I thought they kind of half-assed that. That was like one of the things where I thought they were just kind of half-assing it. But they get rid of Grilla and she's walking off into the wilderness. I don't know why she didn't like go back to hell, or whether if she was a spirit. I don't know why she's
living in the woods.
Living in the woods? Okay. So, but she's
I'm pretty
so
sure
if she's alive and like,
I thought witches and warlocks live longer than people.
They do, but how did she get into the house as a malevolent spirit without the Yule log?
No, she didn't.
She knocked.
Yeah. She
was invited in.
She was invited in. They called her to get rid of her children.
Okay.
They were like, we need her to come and claim them and get them out of this house.
Okay.
Yeah.
So The Yule. Okay, now okay. I apologize to anybody who's watching. Now I'm a little clearer on that point. So Grilla is a badass apparently.
Yeah.
She's like really strong badass. Now she gets fooled, and she's going to come back into play a little bit late, very soon afterwards. And then we find out that Sabrina learned this spell from this really powerful spell to fool Grilla from her dead mom, who's immortal.
I did think it was very odd that she thought this plan would work, thinking like, okay, well, the plan's going to wear off, and then don't you owe that lady a baby? Like,
coming back to my fact, could Diane have not been Diane? Could it not have Diana been Madam Satan? Who's going to be powerful enough to a spell powerful enough to trick Grilla?
It's a good point, but that's the thing.
Diana's immortal.
So Diana is immortal, but that she had taken on. If the producer could look up the two personas that she embodied on the Yule day, Yule night, Yule.
And if another producer could push that other bottle a little bit closer to me on the screen, that'd be awesome too. Thank you, Producer Joe. Well, it'll be really empty after this.
So I think that she got those powers because she had the powers of those two ladies.
Right.
Once we get their names, it would be a lot easier to explain when I have their names. But I. So
which two? Wait. Which two? Okay, I got you.
I think if it was Madam Satan possessing Diana, I think they would have revealed that in the episode.
Okay. Now, to come to a close on this story arc, before we talk about the Susie event and the Krampus theory and all that stuff, they set up for season 2 almost like they were making a correction. It felt like to me like they're like, okay, let's write the baby out of the story so we don't have to deal with the baby in season 2.
Maybe.
It kind of feels like, okay, we stole this baby, but god damn it, you know what? Let's just send her off into the woods.
I do think that the baby ties in to that vision Sabrina had where she approached these two babies crying and she lifts the blanket and one of them has hoof legs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there is a possibility that instead of some people thought that related to her and her childhood.
Okay.
I think it was like a premonition of these future babies coming, and I think
because we see the three kings with gifts at the end.
We do see them.
So who are they there for?
So I think it's Letitia.
Letitia is firstborn.
Yeah.
It's very powerful, but they're sending her to live with
I forget her name. It was
producer Desmelda. Is it? Okay. Desmelda, we met in an early episode when they were going to eat, back to cannibalism, when they were going to eat one of their own, and she escaped, and they found this crazy lady with a wacky eye living in the woods. They're just going to send the baby out into the woods to live in this stick house?
It was good enough for Sleeping Beauty. It's good enough for this baby.
Do you think that Desmelda...
Oh, thank you. Okay, so...
Okay, bring that back.
We're getting a correction that Diana was taking the embodiment of Saint Lucia and the demon Lucy. So she had these two spirits, and I think that's why she was powerful enough to trick her. So those are the names. Saint Lucia, or Lucia, maybe?
Lucia.
Thank you.
Okay, there you go. So...
We can jump back to where we were talking about.
Yeah, I'm stuck on this. I'm a little bit stuck on this. So, Desmelda, do you think she's going to use her powerful... If well, we don't know. This is all going to be speculative at this point because we don't know what they have in store for season 2. What we do know, and we'll get to in a bit, is that we released an exclusive at that hashtag show. We know for a fact that they are casting the Dark Lord in human form. So we are going to see the intention... from the description was that the Dark Lord was going to bring himself into Sabrina's life. So knowing that the Dark Lord is going to walk the earth and be a part of Sabrina's life in human form, this opens up a lot of stuff, which more and more I think about. Do we have a link for it? Yeah. We'll put a link in the description to the original article.
Oh, we're going to show the video right now.
Yeah, let's go to the video. Let's go to the video of our exclusive from that hashtag
Adventures of Sabrina. It's only been out for a month or so, but we already have a trailer for season 2, a testament to how popular the show is. And now, guess what? Exclusive information about a new character you can expect to see when the show returns in April. Ro here from that hashtag show. All right. This character we've been hearing about all throughout the first season. It was a major thorn in Sabrina's side none other than the Dark Lord himself, Lucifer Morningstar. Now, the breakdown for the Dark Lord doesn't reveal too much information, but here's what it does reveal. We're going to see this guy in human form, and here's what the studio is looking for. A male of any ethnicity between 20 and 40 years old. He will only be a guest star, but most likely still be playing a pivotal role in the plot. He is described as attractive, sophisticated, and devilishly charming, of course. Also, despite the given age range, he should appear ageless. He'll bring more power with him than any witch we've met so far, unless Sabrina is able to stop him. So what do you guys think? Looking forward to meeting the Dark Lord himself or herself? Either way, we're putting up a list of our favorite picks, male and female, at that#show.com. Check it out later in the week. I'm excited to compare it to your notes. I'm Ro. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow that #show, your source for everything trending in geek pop culture.
What do you think?
I'm excited. But I don't think we're gonna see him until like last episode.
Now,
season 2.
Okay, that's very possible. We know that he's not being cast as a full-time
But since
cast
they're casting
member.
him now, and you've mentioned that they
Yeah.
already started filming season 2, that's why I think we're not going to get him until the
We're
end.
maybe
if at
mid-season
all.
or whatever. Now, the firstborn child. I would love to hear some theories. Let's get some people going with the super chat.
Yeah, get those
Super chat me.
official member patches
Let
out.
me know what you think about the Dark Lord's role in Sabrina's life, and if this baby, the firstborn of the High Priest, is a factor in the upcoming storylines. I need to know. We're working these series out live. We're kind of riffing. Help us out. Let us know what you guys think, and get a free patch in the process. Well, it's not free. You got a super chat, but we got a lot of them for you. You know what? I'll give you 2 for the first person to super chat is going to get 2 of these handmade patches by none other than our lovely
Money.
Kelly, Cranky Cupcakes over here.
I'm so devoted to the fan base, and I want to share this celebration.
No, and you know what? You know how devoted she is? Go check out her YouTube channel and watch her video. She does the Cherry Bomb by the Runaways, and one of my all-time favorite
Very badass group.
badass all-girl punk rock
Yeah.
OG, Lita Ford, and
Sherry Carey was
Sherry
only
Carey and
like 16
Joan Jett.
at the like height of their career.
Yeah, pretty badass.
Yeah.
Pretty badass. Anyways, they got a raw deal. The Runaways got a raw deal.
Yeah, they did. That was in the 70s though.
Hit us with your theories. Let's move on to part 2 of what happens in this episode. There are, like I said, kind of 3 story arcs going on. The next one, which you were kind enough to fill me in on, is we'll call it the Krampus arc.
Yeah.
Walk me through this.
So we get this story, and I felt like this segment was a bit forgotten. Like, I felt like they were like, we're just going to throw this in for, like, pizzazz and holiday themes and whatnot. But basically, Susie gets her dream job. She's, like,
Yeah.
really excited to play an elf at the, like, Christmas Santa North Pole. I'm going to call it the North Pole.
Okay.
I forgot what she called it. And it, like, basically she just leads the kids up to Santa, takes a photo, next, whatever. But she's, like, the last year she's going to fit in this costume.
Right.
And then we find out shortly that Santa is evil. He's like, I look every year for the perfect child, and the perfect child came to me. Like, how great. He's turning these children into statues, mannequins. And
Creepy imagery, by the way.
it jumps in between these stories, and then after the gorilla story, then she just comes in out of nowhere like, hello, children, like, I'm not upset at all that I just got tricked, but welcome, to my presence. I'm here to save you.
So let's just assume she was halfway back on extracting her revenge on the Spellman household. Let's just roll with that and just say
okay. So
that
you
luckily
think that it didn't line up.
Luckily, they had something to feed her with, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of how they were explaining it.
Feed. Are you talking about
Like how?
gorilla?
Because there was a line in here where they said, what can we do? What can we do? Is
what can we give you in
what can
exchange
she give her?
for getting rid of these?
Like, well, we're
demons,
giving
the
her
poltergeist?
this demon who hurts children.
I don't No, they
Right?
gave
There
her,
was something
they gave
to
her
that.
gin. They gave her gin, and she was like, "Cool."
Do you
You
have any
guys.
gin? Gin is
No, it
gin's a
was-
rough drink. I used to drink gin. That used to be my
Hilda
drink. But
was like, "Oh, I've got all these baked goods." Which, by the way, her kitchen is a freaking bakery. Like
Yeah.
she's baked up a storm.
Hilda's gone baking crazy
Yeah,
in this
and
episode.
this girl's like,
mind
eh.
erasing cookies and shit like
My
that.
dream. I would love to be surrounded by pastries. That's
Okay, so by the way,
Super
Toku Kid.
chat. What up?
Technically now we owe him 3 patches because I said
Yeah.
we owe him 1 for the previous one and then we owe him 2 for this one. So, Toku Kid, we are forever in your debt, being our biggest super fan with the super chat. What if Satan is trying to make a super antichrist?
I think that's a great theory. I do think that he knows that Sabrina is super powerful. Are you talking about Sabrina or the baby? Because I think Sabrina could be powerful enough.
I think Sabrina's more powerful than the High Priestess baby. There's nothing special about the High Priestess baby other than the fact that
They hid the child.
they hid the child being raised as Spellman, but he is the High Priest, and this is the heir to the throne for the Church of Night.
Yeah.
But going back to what he's saying is trying to make a super antichrist, I think what the Dark Lord is actually trying to do is take Sabrina as a bride. I don't think Sabrina's signature in the book can stick like a real witch.
Because she's been promised to Jesus?
I think because she was baptized,
Yeah.
but she still she's more powerful than most witches.
Yeah.
She's not developed, fully developed with her talents yet, but there's something special about Sabrina, and the Dark Lord knows it, and I think that he knows that her signature in the book doesn't mean anything. It's all...
So you think that he won't be able to call upon her and be like, "Oh, do my bidding"?
I think she has free will.
I hope so. I mean, it's gonna suck if
That's kind of a theme that she's kind of leading up to. She's doing what she wants.
But that's
She whines like a bitch a lot. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna do it anyways because it always works out for me.
It does. It works out.
But
for
not
her.
all the time. In the last episode, I was really glad that they didn't cave into that storyline. And when she went to limbo and stuff, she didn't win.
No, she didn't win.
She didn't win in the end. She was like, oh, I can't have everything I want.
No, that's true.
But sometimes she does
And
get
she's
everything.
she does get everything she wants, but she's also losing her Harvey. She's not getting Harvey. She's trying so hard to win him over, and he's like, I can't with this witch stuff.
Okay,
It's
so
freaking me out.
let's get back to our super chatter. Toku Kid, he did also bring up the Harvey issue. Harvey is in her way, and she's trying to use Harvey to hold on to keep her grounded to a life. Because oh my God, Harvey's everything. I'm 17. It's like, really?
Welcome to your life.
It's like, get over it. You haven't lived yet. But so as far as she's
And she's
concerned,
gonna live like forever, since witches live longer than. Well, will she if she's had
it's
more?
so annoying. Teen romance is so fucking annoying.
Then why do you like Riverdale so much?
Because
It's all teen romance.
I don't know why I like Riverdale. You know why I like Riverdale?
Why?
The first couple of episodes
the
when
drugs, the
the jingle jangle is a little ridiculous, but that first episode of Riverdale, the way the tone was set and just the darkness of it and the cinematography, it was so
far
great.
from that.
It was so great, but that's why I'm glad Sabrina's
Season
here.
1 was like amazingly dark, and then after that, it was like now everybody's a serial killer.
Now we all have abs. I just might be a little jealous, as a man in his late 40s should be, of all the young 20-somethings getting the tail that I wish I could score. Oh, I just got really creepy. I'm sorry. It's the alcohol. This is why I don't do Gingerdale frequently, people. You don't want this old guy talking about teenage kids.
They probably don't even want me talking about Archie's abs.
No, you can talk about Archie's
Okay,
abs.
it's cool. Cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for your approval.
Can I talk about the Weird Sisters? I think they're kind of hot.
Sure. What?
I can't figure out what the hell's going on with her hair with what's the lead weird sister? Prudence,
yeah.
thank you. Prudence is hot as fuck, but I can't figure out her hair. Like she sometimes does weird things with it, but she's hot.
I think they're all hot.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be though. They're
Is
supposed to be
Dorcas a hot
succubuses.
name? Could you scream
Yeah, that
Dorcas's name?
sucks. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Dorcas.
Dorcas!
That is unfortunate. I
All
mean,
right.
Agatha is also kind of an old name, and so is Prudence, huh? They all kind
Yeah.
of got old lady names, like
All right.
that generation.
I'm sorry to derail. It's the alcohol speaking. Let's get back to the final Krampus storyline. Do you believe that his name is, and I'm going to get to it. Now we find out that this demon, he is a demon who abducts children and dips them in wax. Obviously, he has some kind of magic because you see the figures crying and stuff. So he's not just a regular crazy dude dipping kids in wax.
Save all those.
He is Bartel. His name is Bartel, and he's in the white pages, people. Sin Bartel. And you had a theory that turned out to be true. Bartel was another name for... Krampus.
We do get a glimpse of him with his demon face, and it looks strikingly like Krampus. So I was like, wait a second, did they throw the Krampus into this story? And I didn't even know until our producer told me that what's his name? Bartel was another name for Krampus.
Yeah.
So that's clever.
So Krampus is kidnapping kids and dipping them in wax. And to close out the holiday special, to give it a happy ending, they bring Gorilla back to kill Krampus and free Susie. What happened to the other kids?
I think that they're wax forever. Doomed to be...
Do we know?
Mannequins.
We're gonna have the producers look at the answers for that.
And we didn't really even mention Harvey and Sabrina's relationship in this episode.
So,
they kind of...
what happens to the kids?
So Bartel was too powerful a demon on the Solstice, so the only one who could stop her was Gorilla, so that's why they had to bring her back in.
Okay.
Because they couldn't do it alone. And then she took all the souls of the kids as part of her to add to her orphans.
Okay.
Good.
So she took the...
So they're going to be little...
She gives them a little bit of free spirit and wildness and gives them a fairly decent afterlife in hell. Ish.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, they get to do whatever the heck they want, right?
Hey,
That's pretty good.
If everything in Sabrina was real, would you sign your name in the Dark Lord's book?
That is a tough question.
There is an awesome line in the first episode where she says, there are so many things about being a witch that are delicious. And I love that word.
They said delicious?
She said delicious. And I was like, you sold me. I think I'd sign my name in the book.
I also think it's a culture thing, though.
Yeah?
I remember...
I grew up on metal, so it's like Judas Priest and...
We knew a girl from Brazil,
whatever.
and instead of saying someone looked hot, she said, oh, you look spicy.
That's
It's just a culture. It's a culture thing, you know.
But I said she described being a witch as being delicious, and I was sold. I was like, oh, I want a part of that life.
I don't know. It's a tough call.
Would you be a vampire? Like, would you
No.
like eternal damnation to be
magic? I'm totally like that. Would definitely entice me. Vampirism? Nah.
Okay. But drawing blood is supposed to be like sex for them, and plus you get to glitter like gold in the sunlight.
That's only one rendition of vampirism. So it sucks because with vampirism, most of the time you basically have to live forever alone.
Yeah.
Like you can't, and then you have to be in the darkness all the time. That's totally lame. Like,
Okay.
You do get to be strong.
I played a vampire on TV once.
Did you really?
I did. True story.
When did you play a vampire on TV?
Oh, Joe spent his entire day researching that once. Yeah, true story.
So you were a vampire, a Sasquatch hunter. Now you're a Star Wars fanatic.
I'm a Star Wars fanatic. The highest viewed live stream, Star Wars live stream on Facebook.
Yeah, congrats.
And I will soon be. I can't say it because there's an NDA. But I filmed some episodes for a network next season.
And that will be the vampire?
No, that'll be something different. But it'll be.
Can you tell us what you'll be or no? Nothing.
I'll be a hunter of some type.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
You know, let us all know when it happens.
So.
Well,
Harvey is a vampire hunter.
We didn't talk
a
about
vampire hunter, a witch hunter. He's from a family of witches,
Yes,
and he has instincts.
And we didn't talk about like him dealing with Sabrina being a witch, because he found out recently, and she keeps trying to give him gifts, which is kind of dumb that she knows he doesn't like.
To me
magic, and she's
he's like trying to
some
shut her down, and
magic
she's not
gifts.
taking the hint. But he's just the only reason he's not fully saying get out of my life is because he likes to tap. Because he's a guy, he likes to tap it every now and then. He's like, look, you can come around, you can give me head every now and then, but you're not allowed to be a part of my life. I mean, that's how a guy thinks, right?
I think that it's strange that he like loved her before, but then when he finds out he's a witch, he's just like, no, you're a different person. Would you really see someone different if you've known them for as long as Harvey's known Sabrina, which is probably like 2 years?
Yeah.
You think he's her brother?
No.
Oh.
She brought his brother back from the
Oh,
dead.
she did
and
bring-
and he had to off that brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good point.
He's kind of on.
That's what witchcraft did to him.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So Harvey sees witchcraft as a negative thing, but he's not fully shutting her out because she's a hot chick. That's the only reason
he kind of shut her out in this episode. I think this episode, it was kind of, that was it.
Yeah.
I think in season 2...
But he didn't say, get the fuck out of my life. He said, let's just keep magic out of it.
He's like, I need some time. Didn't he say, like, I need time? That means let's not see each other anymore.
I think he's still going to tap it whenever he can, as long as he can keep the... He's just like, save the drama for your mama.
I do think he'll get jealous when he sees her with...
Nick.
Thank you.
We're going to get a hot threesome, like magic threesome.
I don't know if Sabrina's going to be down to do a threesome.
No, she's still a virgin, technically.
That's true.
Yeah.
So I don't think she'll be down. But
Yeah.
I do think she might kiss Nick, and then Harvey will be super jealous, and maybe he'll come back. I don't know. I don't think they're getting rid of him anytime soon. I can see where Toku Kid is going, where he's like, oh, is losing Harvey a bad thing?
I think Harvey's kind of annoying.
And
I think we can have a better looking like male character in there who's less annoying.
but he's an important character to the story, and even like
He dies in the comics.
How soon?
I don't know, producer Daniel
Did we know?
Daniel J.
Halfway through, they are on volume 2. He's already dead by volume 2.
Wow.
That's
So he's
the
really
first
not
10.
important character.
Well,
Okay,
a lot
so
of things happen after that are tied.
how?
I
Like
feel like
zombies.
he's so invested. They invested like fans love him. Girls are watching the show and they've already followed him.
No,
on
he's a
Instagram.
good casting because he's not like that overbearing like CW type. He's kind of he's a good
Normal.
casting. But Toku Kid is right. He's a magical racist at this point. He comes from a family of witch hunters, so he has certain perceptions. So that's the second story arc. Things kind of top. It's a little sloppy. This episode, in my opinion, was a little sloppy, but
I enjoyed it, but I felt like they rushed it.
they rushed through a few things. So, in the end, the big thing about this story, to me, was the very end. They introduce, while talking about A Christmas Carol, The Ghost of Christmas, going back to my theory of threes, we see the three kings in the very last scene, just for maybe 15 seconds, bearing gifts. Now, the three kings bearing gifts means a child was born. That's usually the symbolism. That's the symbolism I'm going with. Nick,
Isn't
speaking,
it mean like another king is born
a king is born.
or queen? Not just like a baby.
It might not be either one of these kids. Nick was absent from this whole episode because he went back to the unholy land
Oh, okay.
for some reason. Maybe there's another birth. But what would be the bet you were willing to make about the three kings?
I do think that they're there for Letitia.
Letitia.
I think Letitia is going to be. I don't know why. Maybe there's some omen about her mom dying and her being born to like the
So we're not done with Letitia.
Hogwarts.
We're not
adventure.
getting rid of her, in your opinion.
I don't think she's going to be in every episode. I think she'll be referenced to because she is a baby and it's hard having a baby on set. But I do think she will be a character in the show. We just won't see her all the time.
So let's throw a shout out to the audience. Over at that hashtag show, a lot of our content is created from people in our chat rooms. Toku Kid himself has written for that hashtag show. What would be a good writing assignment if we challenge this audience to a writing competition of some sort, a writing assignment for a patch, let's say?
I believe theorizing on why the three kings are arriving is a great start.
Okay, so here's what I would like to theorize. I want to see your articles. There's a few things I would like to know, but going back, send us your theories, and we'll take in any theory. Anyone can submit anything. Let us know what you think. Submit your fan theories to fantheories@thathashtagshow.com. Here's what we want to hear about. We want to hear about your theories about the three kings and how they're going to come into play for season 2. Also, earlier we dropped a video about an exclusive that we ran. I would like to know your fan casts, who you would put in the role of the Dark Lord.
It's a good one.
Okay? We're going to come out with a list. Send us your theories. Send us your list. Just send us names if you want to. Who do you think would make a good casting? What's your favorite actor out there? Who in the world of television could fit the role
Can we go
of
bold?
the Dark
Can we
Lord.
name anyone even if there's no chance ever that they
Yeah,
would
go
in this
bold.
little
I'm
show?
going with Mel Gibson,
Yeah.
Yeah? I think he'd make a great Dark Lord.
I don't know.
Think he's available?
I think he's very Jesus oriented.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know if he'll be on this
Damn
show.
it. Anti-Semite. That damn anti. Let's go with, I'm going to go with, I heard he's available now. Let's go with Tom Cruise. No?
Is he available, really?
No, he's not available.
Yeah. I don't
All right,
know.
give us your list.
Yeah.
Send us a list. I just want to hear the list. If it's great, I'm going to turn it into a video. I will do a video, and we'll send you some patches. Be a part of the Gingerdale crew. Help us out here. Super chat, write articles, fan theories at that#show.com. That's your assignment for the week, Gingerdale.
Yay.
What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
Summarize this episode for me.
Oh, well, we've got Halloween creeping into Christmas time. We got the Krampus. We had Gorilla the Wood Witch. I don't really know. And then we've got giving away baby orphans. That's pretty much it.
I don't think we're done with Grilla either.
I don't think we're done with Gorilla, and I don't think we're done with Diana.
No.
I think we'll see the mom back again.
I got the impression that she completed her task and she was released from limbo.
Swindled.
But then I started to think about it, and I don't think that was Diana.
I do. I do. You don't. We'll see what happens.
I don't know. What are your theories?
No,
Send them in.
let us know.
Why don't you take us out for the week?
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in here on Gingerdale, even though it was an all Sabrina episode. Give it up for Ro for popping in on this episode.
Always happy to hang every now and then.
Where can everyone find you if you care?
You can find me at @Ro wherever your social media is in your life.
Perfect. And you can find him on that#show.com too.
Doing almost everything else over there too.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you guys next Wednesday. Are we even coming back next Wednesday?
Wait. What do we have a holiday schedule? Wednesday? What's Wednesday?
I don't know. What is Wednesday? Is it Christmas Day?
I don't know. We'll figure it out, but
know.
we'll let you know soon. Okay,
Follow
guys.
all of our social media. We may
That
be
hashtag
back,
show.
We may be back next week. I don't know.
Your source for everything trending.
In geek pop culture.